During your college or NBA career, suffocating defense you faced and the best defensive player against Wally Szczerbiak?
The most suffocating defense definitely in college because they were throwing 2 and 3 guys at me. You know, I was seeing boxing ones, triangle and twos, and the whole scouting report was just devised to keep the ball out of my hands and, you know, make it tough for me to make an impact on the game. Kind of like what Trae Young is going through at Oklahoma. You know, all the defense is just geared towards, you know, trapping him when he comes off pick and rolls and getting the ball out of his hands. And, you know, that's tough to deal with. But in the NBA, it was Ron Artest. That guy was a tough defender. Because my strength, my strength was I was 245. I was 6'7", 6'8". I could take guys into the post, you know, opposing 2 guards, guys like, you know, Kobe Bryant, Ray Allen. You know, those guys were quicker and faster than me and more athletic, but I could use my strength against them. Guys like Bruce Bowen. But a guy like Ron Artest, he was just as quick as me, just as fast as me, and just as strong as me. So that's where he posed me a lot of problems.
And crazier than you.
Oh, definitely wackier.
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Although Ron and I go back a long way, so we have a lot of respect for each other. We played against each other in AAU here in Queens, and we were teammates at times. So we always have had a great relationship. I love the guy. You know, definitely, you know, had some incidents in his career, but
yes,
you know, we're good buddies.
Right. You mean you never went into the stands and fought the fans? You never did that?
No, I never did that.
You
Boy,
stayed away
how
from
times have
and
changed.
also, Wally, you don't have to compete on CBS's Celebrity Big Brother like Metal
I know.
World
I
Peace is doing
saw
now.
Ron's on there.
Yeah,
hey, we're colleagues though. We're
That's true.
colleagues
That's
though.
right.
You know, I work for CBS Sports, and he's on CBS. So welcome to the family.
Hey, before we let you go, I mean, we could talk about the entire top 25 with you. I've got a couple minutes left, but
Sure.
along the lines of Virginia, a team that's very similar is Cincinnati. Now, Cincinnati doesn't get a lot of national shine. They don't get a lot of national love. Everyone wants to talk about, you know, Duke and Michigan State and Villanova. But Cincinnati is dominating their conference. They're defensively, they're just as good as Virginia. Maybe, you know, they're giving up 55 a game. And they, a lot like Virginia, have a little balance to them. They shoot the 3 pretty well. They got 3 or 4 kids that can do it. What is your take on Cincinnati? And who can you imagine Cincinnati playing Virginia in a tournament game? That game might end 23-22.
It might, but Cincinnati's as good as any team in the country.
Yeah.
I'm totally bought in on them. You know, they have a big 3 that's got some serious star power, and Washington, Clark, and Evans. Those guys can play with any 3 guys in the country. Mick Cronin's got that team paired every single night. And it's different this year where there's not a ton of talent out there. There really isn't. You know, Duke's probably the most talented team, but they can't get their heads screwed on straight because they're all going in different directions. And I don't know what's going on in that locker room. So I give Cincinnati as good a chance as anyone in the country to win the national championship and make a Final Four. I really do. I think this is their year. And I think another reason why is seeing Wichita State move into that conference and struggle a little bit,
Right.
shows that conference is a little bit better than people give them credit for. There's a big game tomorrow night on our network against Houston. I'm excited for that one. Cincinnati at Houston, that's going to be probably their biggest test the rest of the year because Houston's a tournament team, and that's a well-coached Kelvin Sampson team that could really ball. So I'm excited for that one. That's going to be a big test for Cincinnati. But seeing the way Cincinnati's still dominating that league with Wichita State coming in there, I think it's a good sign for them moving into the tournament, and it's getting them a little bit more prepared for the tournament to not have any of those letdowns. But on any given day, you know how the tournament goes. You can have a tough day and be bounced. But Cincinnati is a bona fide top 10, top 5 team, and will be a very high seed.
And they are destroying teams in the conference. I mean, they're beating teams by 35. Crazy.
Hey, and that's because they defend. I mean, there's nothing wrong with defending, shutting teams down, and then when you get the ball on offense, being efficient. I've always said it. You know, teams like Mike D'Antoni back when I played, the perfect recipe would be to play offense the way they do and get a defensive coordinator and a defensive coach to just coach those guys up on the defensive end, and then you start blowing teams out by 30. And that's what, you know, teams like Cincinnati and Virginia have the capability of doing now on both ends of the floor.
Can you believe we're almost to March? It's incredible. How quickly the winter went.
Believe hoops, and you know I'm immersed in the Knicks and day too. So it's all hoops all day long for me in the winter, and nothing better. I love
worry,
following it. Great storylines in college.